From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Our top story, several accidents on Phillips Field Road prompted a closure so emergency units could clear the area.
Employees with the Alaska Railroad Company say they saw 6 motor vehicle accidents on Phillips Field Road today. The well-traveled road has had its share of head-on collisions, rollovers, and T-bone accidents over the course of 1 month. One recorded accident occurred at approximately 1 o'clock today. Officers say a woman driving her car westbound on Phillips Field Road lost control when her tires dipped past a lip on the outer edge of the road and spun her vehicle into another car traveling east. One driver sustained minor injuries. Road foreman of Engines, Brett Brown, says he's seen countless accidents occurring on a bend of the road where railroad employees work.
Where we work, we have maintenance away crews that you can hear in the background working on the track. We have train and engine men that are out here moving trains and locomotives and cars around that are working along the lead here, and this puts them all in harm's way at risk of injury or even death as cars come flying off and land on our tracks.
There's a little bit of a lip on the shoulder of the road that if you get off it, it kind of catches you and it's hard to get back on. So once you get back on, it causes those vehicles to slide sideways on the ice.
Lawyers are busy preparing for their much-anticipated closing arguments in the case of the Fbx 4. Marvin Roberts, Eugene Vint, George Freeze, and Kevin Pease claim they are innocent of the 1997 murder of Fbx teenager John Hartman. Let's take a look back at the highlights of the hearing now.
What was thought to be a 3-week evidence hearing turned into a highly divisive 5-week proceeding in front of Fairbanks Judge Paul Lyle.
No, we're innocent. I'm tired of this.
The men who have come to be known as the Fbx 4 have long sought their convictions be overturned, and after an inmate at a California prison and former Fairbanks man confessed to the homicide of John Hartman, they got their chance.
Everybody gotta be quiet, and then he said, if everybody ain't quiet, we're gonna have to kill the others.
It took nearly 2 years, but the trial brought back many key players from the Fairbanks Police Department and District Attorney's Office as they were questioned about their work on the case.
This is a fairly significant mistake because this is the first time that Marvin Roberts' name comes up in the police report, right?
Yes, and his name hadn't come up in the investigation yet.
Of course, the confession by Bill Holmes took center stage, but the man he claims actually brutally beat Hartman to death, Jason Wallace, refused to take the stand until he was secured a deal of immunity with the Attorney General's office.
Make it clear once again, just for the record and for everybody, I'm not cooperating with the state.
In the final weeks of the trial, he was granted that request, but denied knowing anyone who had testified, including past high school friends, and having anything to do with the murder.
I did not kill John Hartman, or was I ever involved in the killing of John Hartman.
The state's own investigators criticized their case and were thus taken off of it long before they were finished. But the state claims they've unearthed evidence that upholds the convictions.
That would be the reasons of why we are taking tennis shoes out to a dumpster and getting rid of them is because of what Marvin told his uncle.
That evidence remains in question as the murder of Hartman yielded no physical evidence in October of '97.
Just to be clear, this is the first time you've ever seen this report?
Yeah, I've never seen this.
And nobody's ever told you about the contents of this report?
I did not know, and I still don't know what the results are, so.
One of the most explosive pieces of testimony came from the state's witness, Matt Ellsworth. Ellsworth was set to refute the claims that Wallace had confessed to him shortly after the Hartman homicide, like many others.
There was a story that led up to an event in the past recent crime, a recent murder. It was described as a young Caucasian boy that was beaten to death by Jason Wallace. He made statements referring to this crime.
Judge Paul Lyle will now decide the fate of the 4 men after closing arguments, scheduled for tomorrow morning. This is Stephanie Woodard reporting. All right, when we come back, there was good news today for students in the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District, and we'll tell you what happened.
Also, some new technology was introduced to the interior over the weekend that involves 3D printed objects and other creations. We'll explain when we return. Stay with us. And welcome back. November 11th, 1918 was declared the War to End All Wars, 1 year after it was deemed Armistice Day. Eventually, in 1954, it became Veterans Day, and since then, we've recognized all veterans of Navy war on November 11th at the 11th hour. Now, this Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the Westmark Hotel, the community will pay respect to all veterans with a special event to honor their service. In addition to ROTC groups and the men's barbershop Greatland Sounds, a group of students from Weller Elementary School will entertain the audience with some patriotic sounds and dances.
Well, we'd like to invite the entire community out to enjoy our Veterans Day ceremony at the Westmark. The date is 11/11, of course, which is our Veterans Day here at 11 a.m. We will be starting a ceremony. It's a formal ceremony, Class A, and we're so excited this year to invite as our keynote speaker Major General Brian Owens, who is the top Alaska commander. He'll be in town with us and part of the ceremony. We have so many great people participating. It's a true community event and everyone's invited.
U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski is running for a third term of office in 2016. The senior senator rallied supporters at Raven Landing Center in the Fairbanks area over the weekend. Murkowski told supporters she's running her campaign based off of frustrations from Alaskans regarding decisions from the Obama administration that she says could negatively affect those living in the 49th state. In 2010, Murkowski was defeated by Joe Miller in the Republican primary before rallying a successful write-in campaign and continuing her second term of office. Murkowski says she's tried to work with the president before, but no more.
We're capable of accessing our resources and doing it in a way that's environmentally sound. We don't want to ruin the land. We want to care for it so that our kids and our grandkids can have what we have had, or if we're newcomers to the state, what we've always dreamed it could be. So we need to just be allowed to do it.
The Alaska Department of Education and Early Development today released results from last spring's Alaska's Measures of Progress, or AMP, testing. Students in the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District outperformed the state average in the inaugural round of tests. 38.8% of district students in grades 3 through 10 met English and Language Arts standards compared to 34% statewide. 34.7% of district students met math standards compared to a 30% statewide average. Overall scores fell into one of 4 levels, with 4 being the highest. Nearly 5% of Fairbanks district students achieved level 4 in ELA, while more than 6% achieved level 4 in math. Because this is a baseline year, scores are expected to increase in coming years. AMP testing also differs from the previously used measure of standard-based assessments.
We have to be aware of the fact that this new assessment is based on more rigorous and challenging new set of standards, as well as it was an online assessment, and the format was also different.
Barnes & Noble bookstore brought in the latest and greatest in emerging technologies and materials over the weekend for local enthusiasts and young hobbyists. The Barnes & Noble Maker Fair showcased 3D printers, customizable circuits, and building blocks, aplenty for children and adults. The Maker Fair was created from nationwide partnerships between the bookstore and Make Magazine. Assistant Manager Nicholas Jacobs says Barnes & Noble invited local experts to dazzle families with circuits that could emulate video games, present the future of 3D printed objects, and also show off robotic creations that have potential in NASA's space missions.
The response has been really good, and the kids have been super excited about it, and the parents have been really excited about it as well. You know, everything, I think parents are really excited to have toys that their kids really think with.
I like your stash.
Oh, yeah, the stuff? Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been here because I've been on this Fairbanks 4 stuff, but I like it. Keep it going.
Thank you. I'm going to try. All right, Joe Cook is up next with sports. He's doing it as well. The weekend recap features Nanook and Ice Dogs hockey results.
Okay, plus a look at the high school volleyball and swimming postseasons, all that and a new I-5 with Joe after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here with the weekend recap in local sports. After a Friday 5-2 win over the Northern Michigan Wildcats. The Alaska Nanniks were looking for their first sweep of the year on Saturday night. Well, that will have to wait. The Wildcats, they bounced back on Saturday with 3 power play goals, and they repay Alaska with a 5-2 win for the series split. Northern went up 1-0 after the first period and pulled away with 3-goal second period. The Morley brothers, though, they provided the scoring for Alaska with the Tyler goal in the second period and a shorthanded score from Brandon in the third period. With a 3-5 record, UAF starts a 4-game road trip with Bemidji State this weekend, then on to Ferris State. After a week of college sports, 2 Nanniks received weekly awards from their conferences. UAF hockey captain Tyler Morley was named WCHA Offensive Player of the Week by the league today. The senior center had a 5-point weekend in the series split with the Northern Michigan Wildcats. He reached 100 career points on Friday night in a 5-2 win for the Nooks. And in volleyball, senior setter Miranda Greaser is this week's GNAC Offensive Player of the Week. The Maple Valley, Washington native set 118 assists in 2 matches last week, including a career-high 74 assists on Thursday's 5-set upset over #1 Northwest Nazarene. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs win another series over the Kenai River Brown Bears. This one was a 3-game sweep on Sunday. The Ice Dogs won 5-1 over the Brown Bears. Fairbanks is now 7-0 in the Raven Alaska Cup Series. Reiner Gorowski had 2 goals to lead the Dogs. Todd Burgess added 3 assists in the win. CJ Booth made 18 saves and picked up his 4th win of the season. The Ice Dogs are now 16-2-1 and they have won 5 straight. The Fairbanks forward Liam Sturtzinger was named Midwest Division Star of the Week today. 20-year-old from Moore Park, California, posted 3 goals, 2 assists, and was a +4 in the Kenai series. He has 16 points on the year, which is top 15 in the league. The Ice Dogs will host the Janesville Jets this weekend. By the end of the ASAA State Swim and Dive Meet, a few interior swimmers made podium appearances for their respective programs. Lathrop's Alex Suleimani placed 2nd in the 200 free and 500 free to lead interior swimmers. West Valley's Angie Randall in the girls 200 free and Tristan O'Donohue in the 100 backstroke also won silver medals. Elsie Evershed of Hutchinson earned bronze in the 100 butterfly. As far as team results go, the West Valley girls placed 5th overall. The Lathrop boys team finished 10th, followed by West Valley at 11. The Hutch girls were 14th and the boys in 18th place. Over the weekend, conference tournaments concluded for high school volleyball, and 2 teams will represent the interior in this weekend's state tournaments. The West Valley Wolfpack put a bow on an undefeated 14-0 season with their 7th straight Mid-Alaska Conference title. They swept North Pole on Saturday in the MAC final. The Wolfpack will take on the Wasilla Warriors, the Northern Lights Conference 2 seed at 11:45 a.m. this Thursday in the first round of the 4A ASAA state tournament. The Monroe Rams lost to Valdez in the Aurora Conference final, and they will be the Aurora Conference 2 seed. The Rams will face SEC champion and 3A defending state champion Mount Edgecombe in the first round. That will be a rematch of last year's 3A final. That game is also at 11:45 on Thursday at the Alaska Airlines Center in Anchorage. And now we wrap up the weekend recap with a milestone edition of the I-5 Interior Top 5 Plays.
Starting us off at number 5, how about Monroe's Matthias Simugala? He scores the game-winning goal rebound style in the hockey season opener as Monroe defeats North Pole 4-2 on Tuesday. At number 4, check out the stick work from North Pole's Darren Donovan, going backhand for one of his 2 goals in a 7-3 win over Hutchinson on Wednesday, their first win of the year. Number 3, the West Valley Wolfpack win their 7th straight MAC volleyball title and finish the season undefeated, powered by Stella Knox's 14-kill, 16-dig game in the MAC final over North Pole on Saturday. At number 2, UAF senior captain Tyler Morley joins the 100 career point club with a 3-point night, 2 goals and a helper in a 5-2 win over the Northern Michigan Wildcats on Friday night. And at number 1, the Big 3, Sam Hartoon's career high 40 kills, Maddie Davis's career high 17 kills and 20 digs, and Miranda Greaser's career high 74 assists is enough to upset GNAC leader Northwest Nazarene in a 5-set thriller on Thursday night for UAF's 3rd win in a row, the most since 2009. To vote for the play of the week, click on your favorite play on the I-5 poll on webcenter11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube post and at KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The play of the week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for watching. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into our Monday night edition of the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again, talking about the weather. Hope you had yourself a good weekend. Little shoveling of the snow involved today, right? And we're looking at the temperatures to start dropping down at a pretty good rate. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Our photograph tonight, this one's sent in by Ron Plummer. Summit Lake winter arrives. You can see, once again, beautiful shot here. Look at all the clouds and the snow and everything else around there. This is a gorgeous mountain view. And as always, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Speaking of photos, that Fab photo calendar is out now, and it's free. And you can pick it up like places like Old Big Daddy's Barbecue or River City Cafe or even Seekins Ford Lincoln. Everybody has it free. Lots of places all over town to pick it up. Makes a good stocking stuffer, and check it out. There's some great photos of you folks have sent in. Here are your numbers. 27 for the high today, the low last night 20. The record high 45, that was set in 1997, but down to 39 below in 1989. And the sunrise and sunset under 7 hours of daylight, a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. Our satellite picture today, pretty impressive. More rain falling across southeast Alaska, but look at this huge area of low pressure spinning around the atmosphere there. The counterclockwise flow helping to bring lots of moisture across much of the interior. Little pockets of moisture bringing us a little bit of snow shower activity once in a while. In fact, our latest radar, as you can see, one band did pass through just a while ago. Nothing on the horizon right now, but do not discount the possibility of more showers moving through in the evening, and they could add up to maybe a half an inch or even an inch in some areas, so keep that in mind. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, over southeast Alaska, we have rain once again around the Juneau and Ketchikan areas, and it's going to be heavy rain for the Ketchikan region. Over south central sections around the Anchorage Bowl, they've been off and on rain and snow throughout the day. Even had to have classes canceled today because of icy conditions. Kodiak at 38 degrees, Cold Bay, some rain at 31. Up and down the west coast, they're basically dry, just partly cloudy skies. 29 at Bethel, chilly there, but not too bad at Nome, 31. Even warmer in Barrow, 21 degrees, and Fort Yukon at 16. Lower 48 weather. Once again, we have cool temperatures over the western half of the country. It's starting to warm up a little bit in Las Vegas and Phoenix. Another chilly day in Denver, 58 degrees, but a storm's on the horizon for those folks. Over the Texas area, not quite 70 degrees in Dallas-Fort Worth, 62 at Minneapolis. Over the eastern side of the country, looking at showers and thunderstorms working their way all the way up the east coast. In fact, they really show up good on the satellite and radar. This is all a big mass of moisture associated with Tropical Storm Kate that developed out of nowhere. It's moving out across the Atlantic Ocean. And again, you can see lots of moisture and counterclockwise flow with another area of low pressure, lots of snow at the higher elevations, expected to drop down to around the Salt Lake City area tomorrow. And a major storm is developing for the week, for the middle of the week. As you can see, blizzard conditions possibly in the Denver area by Wednesday with severe thunderstorms. A large area stretching across the deep south to the Midwest and across the Great Lakes too. All being brought in by the jet stream, taking a big dive once again down to the south, helping to usher in that weather. It's going to be wild, that's for sure. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. A brand new week and a brand new school, Ladd Elementary School. And here's a young lady with an interesting story about a tornado.
One day when I was in Hartwell, Georgia, and we heard there was going to be a big tornado coming. We turned off all the lights and everything that was electricity. The TV just went blank. The candles blew out. When the storm was over, we got out and everything was just destroyed. The windows were about to break, and thank you.
And her family was safe. That's the most important thing. And tomorrow night, a young man will be here to share a picture he's drawn. Our forecast for tonight, as you can see, we're looking at, once again, just some scattered snow shower activity with isolated snow showers into the morning. 8 degrees for the overnight low. How about that? Tomorrow's forecast calling for cloudy skies, some light snow developing by evening. 60 degrees for the overnight low. And the 5-day outlook. Look at the temperatures dropping down. Joe's not going to be happy about this. 8 to 10 degrees below zero by Friday and Saturday night into Sunday. Off and on, we'll have a chance of some snow shower activity each day, but the temperatures will be falling down below the normal for the first time in a long time. Nothing really severe, but it does show you that we are getting into more of a winter-like pattern. Not happy, Joe?
I'll be all right. I bought some gloves over the weekend, so I'm getting a head start. Got to get some snow pants next.
Hey, 10 below is really not that bad.
I know you used to.
Oh yeah, look at this person.
I used to anchor here regularly, but
very good.
I will be coming back. So.
Okay. Good to have you back.
The trial will be wrapping up tomorrow with closing arguments.
Thank goodness.
Okay. All right. That will wrap up this edition of the Fbx Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, Russia may miss out in the Rio Olympics after doping accusations. That's up next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
All right. From all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a good night.
Good night.